Hello everyone, my name is Neomustic. Welcome to the first video on how to model in Blender. Before I get into real modeling, I am going to tell you guys that as you can see on the bottom right here underneath this bar, you can see my Twitch channel. Now, I would suggest if you're interested in modeling and stuff like that, anything that has to do with Blender, sculpting, making animations, making videos, you can ask me questions even when I'm playing a video game. If you see that I'm online and you have a problem or something, just come in, ask me for help. I won't be the only one there. There will sometimes be friends of mine, people who I work with, who are using Blender as well, and they will help you when I don't know the answer. Like I have one really good friend, he's progressing really fast. So if I can't answer you, he probably can. So yeah, just add my Twitch channel when you see that I'm online. Even when I'm playing a game, because I do play games as well there. Even when I'm playing a game, just talk to me. Just ask me, hey, I've got a problem. Do you know the answer? And if I know the answer, I will be able to give it to you. So that being said, this video is going to be on basic navigation in Blender, like what I'm doing right here. We So yeah, let's get into it. I am going to get my keys to show up in the bottom right here, but I'm not going to do that in this video because I first need to find the right script for doing so. So yeah, when you load in your Blender, it's going to look something like this, with maybe a little page in the middle. Don't mind that. That's just well, to open previous projects really fast. So yeah, this is your basic new file setup thingy, and the way to navigate is with the mouse and the arrows, as you can see. So let's go back to the right view, which I messed up apparently, or there's something wrong with me. Okay, so this is what you start in. If you press 5, you can see it's changing a little bit. This is orthographic view, and the other one is perspective view. Most modelers, I'm one of them, we like to use the orthographic view. So if you press 5, you can switch between both of them. You can see it on top here, user ortho, user perspective. This basically means I'm in my user view at the at the user perspective. If I press 1, while I'm still in ortho, you can see front perspective. I'm going to go to orthographic. So you can see this is the front orthographic view, as you can see on top here. You can also see that because of the red line like so and the blue one going vertically. If I press 3, the red line changes to a green line and the blue line is still there. If I press 7, because 3 is the right side view and 7 is top view. So as you can see, now I have a red and a green line. These lines, they're basically, this is the x-axis. You can see it's down here as well, x-axis. And this one is the y-axis. While the blue one is actually the z-axis. Yeah, I know that Unity uses them as well, but in a different way, I think. The y-axis is vertically and the z-axis is depth or something. I'm not sure of it, but I think it's something like that. So yeah, 1, 3, and 7. If I press Ctrl 1, I'm going to go to the back view. Ctrl 3 is left view, and Ctrl 7, you guessed it, is the bottom view. Next to that, I'm in first view now. If I press 8 and 2, you can see I can go up and down just a little bit, not too much. And if I press 4 and 6, you can see I'm rotating left to right. With Control, if you hold down Control and you press 3, you can move left to right. 8 is going up and 2 is going down. Nothing too hard about that. So those are the controls that most of the people will use when they have a little numpad on their computer. The plus on the numpad is moving in, the minus is moving out. I think that speaks for itself. You can also, to zoom in and out, you can also use the middle mouse button, scroll wheel. If you hold down shift, you can go up and down. If you hold down control, left to right. If you hold down the middle mouse button, you can also do like what I'm doing now, just rotating around the object around your center point. If you hold down the left mouse button, it does nothing. It just makes your cursor go to those locations. So spacebar, cursor to center. Okay, if I hold down right mouse button on top of my object, I can start pulling it out, dragging it where I want it to be in the scene. If I press down right mouse button again, it's going to snap back to where I got it from. If I do left mouse button, it's going to stay where I placed it. I do have to say these controls are kind of hard to work with, but once you get the hang of it, it's going to be a lot easier. Right mouse button to select objects, as you can see, and the selected object will be lining up orange in my case. If you change your view, let's do that for a second, if I can see what I'm doing. Where is it? It's not user preferences. If I do my team, you can get all these teams. You can also add in your own ones. But yeah, if you change the theme, everything changes, as you can see. Like so, if I go back to 3D view, you can see it lights up white. So that's something, a personal preference that people might have. This is way too bright for me. I don't like this bright color, but I'll use it for the rest of the video, because I didn't save it. So if you go back to file and you start a new file, it's going to reset everything. But I think this white looks a little bit more visible for what we're doing. Okay, so down here you can see all these little buttons. The one that we'll be using for these tutorials the most is basically this object mode button, this button, and this button. These three are the most important ones. This is basically to go to wireframe mode, to texture mode, which we don't have a texture yet, so you won't see anything. Material mode, the same thing, and render mode. That's basically you're rendering as you are working on it, as you can see right now. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what the hell is bounding box? Yeah, okay, so bounding box, yeah. I forgot that one was there. So I'm going back to solid mode. This one is to, well, this is more important for once we're into modeling. So let's tap the object mode button. And as you can see, you can go to texture paint, weight paint, vertex paint, sculpt mode, and edit mode, because we're already in object mode. So the texture paint, if you see my videos on how to paint stuff, you know what this texture paint button does. The weight paint, that's basically for once you go into armatures, making the objects get a skeleton and stuff like that. Vertex paints, it's something similar. I don't use it. And sculpt mode, well, you will see sculpts coming along pretty soon as well. So we're going to tap into edit mode, and as you can see, things have changed a little bit. I really don't like this white one. Okay, so now as you can see, if I selected a little dot, which happens with right mouse button, you can select them with right mouse button, they'll light up white. If I press G, I can grab it. If I press, because I need to do two, if I press R, I can rotate them. And it's going in depth from my point. So this, it's going, how can I show this? I don't have a 3D laptop. Well, this is 3D modeling, but I can't show you guys because it has to be in 3D. So it goes in depth. So I'm actually the center point from where my camera is looking. If I make my camera go like this, you can see the rotation is different as well. E is extrusion, and starting next video we'll be using that a lot. I didn't want to do that. Go back. Okay, so I did something stupid and I don't know what. Yeah, no, I keep doing stupid things. Okay, let's just keep it like this. I don't feel like messing around with it for now. I do know how to fix it, I just don't know where it is, the fixing button. Okay, so grabbing, extruding, rotating, S, scaling. Closer you go, the smaller it becomes, the further you go away from it, the bigger it becomes. Right mouse button to undo what you're trying to do, and left mouse button to accept. So if I scale this to here and I press left mouse button, it's going to scale to that. Control Z is to undo. Go back a step, like so. I think these are the buttons that we'll be using the most. If we are going to use different buttons, I will tell you guys. I will also give little reminders. Okay, use that button, use that button, use that button. But you'll see that starting the next video. If you found this video to be informing, if you learned something from this, because I know it's been a lot of shortcuts, but we will use a lot of these shortcuts once we get into actual modeling and texturing and stuff like that. Once we get into that, we will definitely use those buttons. If you found this video to be informing, whatever you want to say, just give me the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, give me the thumbs down. This is the start. I have to say this before we get into actual modeling, because I do know that I forget to say some things. I don't have my little key casting thing down here yet. So for now, this video was actually important to know. Okay, I'll see you guys in the first real video on how to model, which will be the next video, I guess. Probably, unless I do some more painting and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, for those who want to know which kind of processor and stuff I use to do all of this, I'm using an MSI GT72S Dominator G. Basically, I have what's it called, an i7 682 6820 HQ or HK processor with a GTX 970M G-Sync NVIDIA card in my little laptop. Well, little, it's actually bigger than the previous one and a lot heavier. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.